Welcome, friends, to our new video dedicated to amazing but little-known facts from history. Get ready for an amazing journey through time, where we will reveal some hidden pearls of history. In southern Africa, there is a unique complex of ruins under the general name of Greater Zimbabwe. Not everyone knows that in honor of this archaeological site, and was named after the African country of the same name. According to historical data, more than 1,000 years ago on these places lived tribes, Shona. It was they who built numerous buildings, the ruins of which are now of such interest to tourists and researchers. According to rough estimates, Greater Zimbabwe was founded in the 12th century BC, since the founding of the city has existed no more than 300 years. The reason why a major city was deserted after several hundred years remains unknown. The main feature of the ruins lies in their architectural characteristics. All the buildings in Greater Zimbabwe were erected from identical stone monoliths of regular shape, which were simply stacked on top of each other without the use of any fastening materials. It is amazing that with such features of the buildings, they have managed to be partially preserved after more than 3,000 years. One of the most interesting parts of the archaeological complex is the so-called road barrier, a huge stone circle 89 meters in diameter. The total length of the stone wall is 244 meters, and the height of the structure is 10 meters. Modern scientists can only guess about the purpose of such structures. In Turkey, not far from the border with Syria, there is the Göbekli Tepe region. The megalithic circles discovered here brought worldwide fame. Each of them is slightly reminiscent of the Stonehenge circle, but the circles at Göbekli Tepe were built about 1,000 years earlier. The purpose of the stone circles is also unclear, as is the method of constructing such large-scale and regular structures. The megalithic structures were discovered by a group of archaeologists led by Klaus Schmidt. Specialists began excavations in the designated area in 1994. In addition to the mysterious circles, scientists discovered the ruins of ancient temples and other structures, the age of which is about 12,000 years. Archaeological excavations in the Göbekli Tepe region have been continuously conducted for more than 10 years. Over these years, scientists have managed to clear only a small part of the treasures hidden underground. According to historians, thousands of years ago in these places, there was a complex of religious buildings. This is where people made sacrifices, gods of fertility. Mysterious circles are nothing more than the central part of this cult complex, where the most significant rituals were performed. It is likely that the monolithic circles are only part of a huge temple complex, as evidenced by the monoliths with pictograms discovered nearby. The latter are of particular interest to those interested in the history of the ancient world. Among the variety of pictograms, not only images of animals were found, but also images of creatures that only vaguely resembled people. Among the most incredible and amazing structures on the planet, the city of Machu Picchu occupies a very special place. This ancient Inca city has been the best preserved for thousands of years. Today, visitors to the unique archaeological complex have a unique opportunity to walk along the ancient streets and touch history in its true embodiment. The discoverer of the unique archaeological complex is Hiram Bingham. His group began excavations in 1911. The history of the city of Machu Picchu is full of secrets and mysteries. For several hundred years, it remained the residence of the ruler. Even in its heyday, there were no more than 200 buildings on the territory of the city. In 1532, the history of the city mysteriously ended. According to one piece of evidence, all its inhabitants simply disappeared at the same time. Modern visitors to the archaeological complex will have the opportunity to see carefully restored fragments of ancient temples, residences, warehouses, and other buildings that were used for domestic needs. The mysterious disappearance of city residents is just one of the mysteries of Machu Picchu. The ancient city is unique, From an architectural point of view, construction. Literally everything is of interest here, from the carefully processed stones from which the buildings are made to the correct geometric shape of these buildings. Travelers who decide to walk through the archaeological area should take into account that only 2,500 tourists per day can visit it, so you should sign up for the excursion in advance. A unique structure is the ancient temple of the god Jupiter, located in the ancient Lebanese city of Baalbek. Despite the fact that today the ancient building is in ruins, it never ceases to amaze with its scale and design features. The main mystery of the temple is the huge platform slabs at its base, as well as carved marble columns, the height of which, according to rough estimates, reached 20 meters. How thousands of years ago people managed to construct structures of such a scale has not yet been understood. According to historical data, the temple in Baalbek existed for several hundred years and was partially destroyed during the reign of Emperor Theodosius. It is likely that thousands of years ago, these places were considered truly special. It is impossible to find any other explanation for the appearance of the giant temple. When trying to imagine the process of building a temple, a huge number of unanswerable questions arise. People manage to lift huge stone platforms, the weight of which reaches 1,000 tons, to a height of up to 7 meters. Even today, using the most modern technology, such a task would not be easy. Not far from the temple, there is a quarry where huge monoliths were carved out of the rocks. One of the monoliths was left untouched in the quarry. Its parameters are also impressive. The monolith is 21 meters long, 4.2 meters high, and about 5 meters wide. According to one version, the unique temple was built thousands of years ago by order of King Solomon. Peru also has amazing structures that deserve the attention of the most sophisticated tourists. Among them are the ruins of the ancient city of Chavin de Huantar. They are located on the territory of the district of the same name, which the locals have considered special and filled with magical powers since prehistoric times. The ancient city of Chavin de Huantar was founded in 327 BC, and its main part was occupied by temples and religious buildings. For many years, the ancient city remained a place of complex cult rituals and sacrifices, as evidenced by the variety of artifacts found during excavations. It was here that shamans drew their strength, and locals still believe that during a walk among the ruins, one can be charged with magical powers. The central place of the archaeological complex today is occupied by 2 temples, in the inner courtyards of which cult monuments and obelisks are hidden. Like many other prehistoric structures, the Chavin de Huantar complex is remarkable for the way it was built, its temples striking in their scale and the size of the construction materials used. The internal structure of the temples is very complex. Visitors can walk through the labyrinth of corridors only accompanied by a guide. The story of the discovery of the ancient city is also unusual. It was found by one of the local farmers. While tilling the land, he noticed strange stones with carved petroglyphs. For more than 100 years, the area discovered by the farmer remains in the attention of archaeologists from all over the world.